up reading I Wind. Hey everyone, it's Aratna. Um, what I am doing today is I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of a book recommendation post, and to do so, I thought I would use my not very full TBR jar. The TBR jar is not, well, clearly, if I'm using it for book recommendations, it's not book titles. What I've done is I had put in prompts because I knew if I put in book titles, I would not keep to the TBR. Never mind that I haven't been reading much lately, so these recommendations will be a little on the older side, but the prompts are things like books a certain color, or titles starting with a certain letter, or author's names starting with a certain letter. I thought I'd recommend things based on that. So we're gonna pick out 5 prompts, and let's see. You can also find these prompts and this idea behind this TBR jar on my blog. I will link that in the description. But the 5 prompts, and then I will recommend. So the first prompt is book based on an existing story. So this would be a retelling. So for a book based on an existing story, A Spark of White Fire, which is based on the Mahabharata, but it's like set in space. This is still such a good concept and such a well-written book. The way it's been adapted makes it really fresh and really made me want to read the Mahabharata itself, which is very long, very, very long epic. So I'm not planning to read it. I'm just gonna find one of those really long Hindi TV series and watch it. But yeah, I loved this. It's like at the top of my recommendations whenever a friend asks for something sci-fi that they can get into quickly. I don't know if I'm able to get book 2 in this region, because it was a struggle to get this one as well. So I have not read book 2 yet, even though this is pretty old, but it is on my list, and hopefully I'll be able to get it when I'm in Singapore or something. But yeah. The second, authored first name starting with R. Author's name starting with R. Roshani Chokshi. I think that's how you pronounce her last name, but Star-Touched Queen. I've talked about this to a number of people about how it was the first time I felt really seen in a book. Just because there was this part where the main character is thinking about this myth she grew up hearing, and I remember going, wait, I know this myth really, really well. I put the book down. I actually tweeted Roshani, and she confirmed that I was right. I was thinking about the same myth, and that is a myth I grew up hearing. So because it's part of my culture, my history, and yeah. So, but besides just that representation, this is just well written. This is just, I mean, it's a love story that is really, 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 like, it draws you in. The main character is someone that I really liked reading about. She was smart and strong, even in the weight of like all these revelations that were coming her way. And I've heard that they're turning this into a TV show. Not this one, maybe the next one. But I love the books. They're based on 2 different characters, so you can say that they're you can get references to the characters in the books, but they're separate stories. Crown of Wishes is also really good. But yeah, so Roshani Chokshi, I've got her some of her other books that I will be reading eventually. But yeah, a book with a bird on the cover. It took me a little longer than I expected to find a book that I wanted to recommend that had a bird on the cover, because another one with the bird on the cover is I'm using it as a recommendation for one of the other prompts. But then I remembered I owned Six of Crows. Yes, it's just the wing, but it counts. But yeah, so I've not read many of Leigh Bardugo's books. Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, though, I flew through. Like, it, I had been in a reading slump for a while before I picked up Six of Crows, and then within the span of like less than a week, I was done with Six of Crows and I was already starting Crooked Kingdom. I love them so much. I think they're really well written. I think they're really engaging, and the plot moves fast, and you just want to keep reading. And of course, at that time, I did not have two kids underfoot, so I had more time to read. But yeah, so Six of Crows, Cricket Kingdom. If you only read like one of Leigh Bardugo's series, I would recommend this duology. A book by an East Asian author. Will I ever stop shouting about Descendant of the Crane by Joan? No, I will not. I am still so in love with the political intrigue in this. I'm still so in love with the concept and the characters, and like a part of me is still dreaming about the sequel we never got, because but yeah, we should have gotten a sequel. But Joan's other books are also supposed to be so good. Again, it is difficult to get new releases and international releases here, especially because bookstores have been closing down, and now Book Depository is closed, and Amazon has this like difficulty to, a lot of books just tell me it's not available in your region. So I have this of her books, and I want like all the rest of them. But this also has a bird on the cover, so I almost used it for both prompts. And this, I know we're never gonna get a sequel, but it was still a really good contained political story with really fascinating characters and really so much intrigue. The plot is so tight. The characters are so three-dimensional. It's just, the world building is exquisite. The character descriptions, the world descriptions is just amazing. It was like, when it came out, it was like, oh my god, this is a debut. How the hell is this a debut? It is so tight and well done. But yeah, more people need to read this. More people need to hype this up, because this is still one of the best books I have read. And a book about friendship. For the last one, we're going way into the past. This, I would say, the full series is books about friendship. Tamora Pierce's Circle of Magic series. I loved them when I read them the first time. This was years ago. Look at how frayed and falling apart this book is. This is just the first of the 4 books. I know there's a second series and everything, but I could never find them locally. I could not find them online. And then I loved these 4 characters so much, so I didn't really go looking for more, though I did read some of Tamora's other books from the library. And yeah, these kids, yes, they're kids. Like, I look at them now and I'm like, oh my god, they're so young. But these kids built such a strong friendship where they would do anything for each other. They're the adults also, you can tell that the adults also have a very strong friendship amongst themselves, and I still love it. I'm waiting for the day I can like pass this on to my kid and go, these books are really fun, really well written. The characters are just engaging. The magic system is so cool. But yeah, so books about friendship, Circle of Magic series. And those are some little recommendations. I forgot what the word was. Recommendations for from using the prompts from my TBR jar. I feel the prompts are going back inside. I feel like I need to fill this up with more prompts and then do this more often, just because it's fun. Like, I thought it was really fun. I haven't been reading much. I've been stuck on the same book for years, and then I've started an ebook as well for review purposes because I got it for free, and I'm enjoying it, but the formatting's a bit off. I've talked about this in a couple of my vlogs. The formatting's a bit off, so it's a bit slow going, and we've had a lot of things happening with kids' school activities and all of that. So finding reading time is not very easy, and I wind up reading fan fiction a lot more than anything else. But yeah, so these were some book recommendations based on my TBR jar prompts. What do you, what would you recommend with these prompts? And did you think it was a fun idea? Like, I liked it. I'm thinking about making more prompts to put into the TBR jar so I can do more book recommendation videos. But I was looking at my books and I'm like, most of these are on my TBR instead of actually having been read. Help me figure out how to carve out reading time, or maybe I should do more reading vlogs. I end up reading a bit more when I do those. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications if that's something you want to do. You can follow me on all my different platforms. They are linked in the description, and of course I've linked the blog post with the TBR prompts as well. You can even download the prompts themselves from the blog post if that is something you think would be fun for you, instead of doing the normal TBR book titles. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will see you in a couple of weeks with a new video. Bye.